Hi everyone. So in the last video, we created our breakpoints. Now, the focus of this video will be typography. So first of all, what we are going to do, we'll create a new file and I'll call it typography.js. And let me first tell you what we are going to do inside here. Okay. So for that, I have opened this typography. Okay. So I'll also provide this link in the description so you can check this page. What we are basically going to do, we are going to customize how the text is going to look on our application. Okay. And the component for rendering text is typography in material UI. Okay. So that is why we are going to now learn how to customize our typography. So the first thing that I want to tell you is that in order to include a specific font, you can do it using Google Web Fonts, which we'll be doing shortly, okay? Or you can also do it like this, okay? You can install it using npm, okay, and then just import and use it. So we'll look at it, okay? But first of all, we need to learn what are the variants, okay? What are the different types of text that Material UI is providing to us? So here you can see we have different kinds of text starting from H1, which is heading 1 to heading 6, okay? They are of different sizes, they have different font weight, okay? So there are lots of things that we can customize in each one of them. Then after that, we also have this subtitle 1, subtitle 2, body 1, body 2, button text, caption text, and overline text. So if you just expand the code, okay, for this, okay, then you will see that they are just rendering some text using this typography component, and the only thing that is changing over here is this variant property. Okay, so this is h1, then h2, h3, h5, h6. Okay, then we have subtitle 1, subtitle 2, body 1, body 2, button, caption, overlines. So now I hope you understand that this variant prop is going to make our text look in a certain way, okay, and that is exactly what we want, but with some tweaks. So let's learn how we can do that. So in order to do that, we are again going to create an object, okay? I'll call it just typography. Then inside this, what we need to do is we need to define certain properties. So first of all, I'm going to define font family, okay? So when I'm writing this, this will be implemented. This will be implemented for all the text. Okay? It doesn't matter. Let's actually make it some constant. So here I'll write font primary, and that will be a string. We will define multiple fonts, okay? So the first one will be Poppins. Then if this is not available, then I want to use public sans in my application. And the third option will be sans serif. Okay, and these are all Google fonts. These are not available locally by default. So here I'm also going to write this comment that we need to install these fonts from Google. Okay. Then after doing this, let's customize the font weight. Okay. And for font weight, I'm going to write this property font weight regular. Okay. And please keep in mind that you cannot change the name of this property. It should be exactly like I'm writing over here, font weight regular, because that is what MUI theme is going to understand. So I'm going to set the regular font weight to 400. Then I'll also define a and medium and a bold font weight. Okay. So for that, I'm just going to duplicate it and then I'll change the regular to medium. Okay. And this regular to bold like this. Then the font weight here will be for medium we have 600 and for bold we have 700. Okay. So that is what I want. Then after this, I want to customize each and every variant specifically. So what I mean is I want to do some styling specific to just h1. Okay, so for that we can create an object inside this like I created over here. Then I'll write font weight. Okay, and this font weight I would want to use 700. Okay, even if I have defined these three, okay, this will override the above rule. Okay, so whenever we create an h1 typography, it will take font weight 700. Okay, then for the line height property, okay, let's create this line height property, and that will be 80 by 64. Okay, so we are always going to use a multiple of 8 in case of line height because that is the convention. Okay, that is going to look really nice. Then we have another property called letter spacing that I want to customize, and I'll set its value to 2. Okay, then after this, what I want is I want to also set font size. Okay, that is a very important property. But if let's say if I write 40, okay, that will be 40 pixels. But I don't want it to be a certain value on each and every screen size, because when we scale our application, we scale it down or we scale it up, then the font size should respond, okay, to the screen width. So that is why we are not going to use an absolute value. We are going to create a function, and I'll call it px to rem. Okay, and by the name you must understand that we are going to convert pixel value to rem. Okay, so for now I have just written this. Then we'll go and create this utility function. Okay, then after this we also need responsive font sizes. What I mean by responsive font size, let me just write it over here first. Okay, then I'll explain it to you. So responsive, okay, responsive font sizes. Although I have defined this 40, okay, I don't want to use it each and every time. I want to use different font size for different screen. Okay, like for a small screen, I would set this value to 52. For medium, I'll set it to 58. For large, I'll set it to 64. And this will be a function. Okay, this responsive font size will be a function which is actually taking these three different values which are actually in pixel. Okay, and we'll convert this to rem. So let's now see how we can do that. For that, I'm going to again create another folder inside source, and I'll call it utils. Okay, so this is our utility folder. Here we'll create many useful functions. Okay, so here I'm going to create another file, and I'll call it get font value.js. Okay, then inside this, let's create our function pixel to rem. So I'll create a function and I'll also export it at the same time. So here we have our px to ram function. Let's now write the logic. Okay, how we are going to do this conversion. And the rule is simple. If you want to convert pixel to ram, just divide it by 16. Okay, so here we are going to get 16. Sorry, here we are going to get the value, and what we will be returning. We'll just return value divided by 16. But we also need to add ram, which is the unit, okay, at the end. So that is why I'm going to do a string interpolation over here. So that will be this value divided by 16. Okay, and after this operation is done, we'll just actually add this ram at the end of. Okay, so this is our function px to ram. Then the next function, responsive font sizes. For that, we'll again create another function, and the name is responsive font sizes. Already you know that we're going to give it three values in an object, and that will be SM, MD, and LG. These are three different font values for different screen sizes. Then what we are going to do, we are going to return something, okay, that will be an object, and this object will actually contain some CSS rule. Let's see what we are going to do over here exactly. Okay, so here I'll create this string, and inside this I'll write media. Okay, and then min width 600 pixel. So I'm just writing some media query over here. Okay, if if the min width is 600 pixel, then I want font size, okay, like this px to rem. I'll call this function and pass this small value. Okay, so what we are exactly doing over here, we took this sm value, okay, and since we already declared that our small size screen will be below 600, okay, you can check it out in the this breakpoints. Here we have defined sm will be 600. Okay, so that is why I have created a media rule, okay, for min width 600, and we are then going to convert the pixel value for small screen to rem. Okay, similarly, we are going to do it for medium and large screen. So that is why I'm just going to duplicate it twice. Then I'll change the min width to 900 and 1200 respectively. Okay, like this. And here we'll pass the MD value, and in this case we'll pass LG value. Okay, so these are our two functions that we needed. Okay, now we can actually import those over here. So what I'm going to do, will import them, okay, from the utils folder. Okay, so here we have this. Okay, now the last thing that is left is to export this object. So what I'm going to write over here, export default typography. Now it's ready to use inside our theme. But there is one last thing that is remaining. We have only customized our first variant, that is H1. We should also customize the other variants, right? Like H2, H3, and there are lots of variants. I showed you in the starting of this video. So what I'm going to do, I'll just paste the customization that I have already done for those variant, and then let's understand those as well. So I'm just going to copy, okay, what I have already written. Then I'll be pasting it over here. Let's see what we have done in each one of these. So for H2, we have set font weight to 700, line height, okay, font size and responsive font size. Similarly, we have done the exact same thing for H3, H4, H5, and H6. These are some values that we have already determined, okay, before starting this application. Okay, this is a part of our theme, how we want our text to look like. So we have customized all those other variants. Now for subtitle 1, subtitle 2, again we have written some rules, okay, that are going to be specifically applied to this particular variant. Okay, similarly we have for body 1, body 2, caption, overline, and button. So I hope I cleared this. Okay, this is how we customize our typography in Material UI. So that's it for this video. If you like the content, then please make sure to like this video and also hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video where we'll discuss how to actually combine all these three things that we created, breakpoints, palette, typography, to actually create our theme object, and we'll start to use it inside our application. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.